Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game, Rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try hard to stick to reasonable languages for all ages, listeners should know that this is a podcast that may include mature themes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., may bear resemblance to persons living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Okay, and welcome back to the show. Thank you for stopping in and spending some time with us this evening, or this morning, depending on what time it is. Our full cast is here tonight for another wonderful episode to hopefully entertain you. To my direct right,
Slani, I'll be playing Lawrence Edward Oliver Forsyth, and he is currently looking for a doctor.
And to his right,
I am Heather. I am playing Stazi to her friends, or Anastasia Edwina Fairchild, and currently in her abode awaiting her roommate.
I'm Jake. I'm playing Jack Doyle, Private Eye, and I am currently catching lead in buckets.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe you're at least ducking, if nothing else, right? When we last left Mr. Doyle, there was a automatic weapons fire. That's generally not the greatest way to end an episode, but we use it as a wonderful cliffhanger for all our listeners. And then to his left, or to my left,
this is James. I'll be playing Dr. Sigmund von Tattenbach, the group physician, and right now he is currently being a doctor, so that is actually quite helpful.
And then last but most certainly not least,
Tiffany, I will be playing Maeve O'Shea, who isn't doing anything interesting right now.
I don't believe that for a second.
It's all on the inside, Maeve. It's all on the inside.
Okay, so because I'm the person I am, I'm going to wait on coming to Jake. I would like to start with Mr. Forsyth. You had left Doyle's detective office,
Yes.
in search for Dr. Tattenbach.
Yes.
Because you had a series of questions for him, at least, or perhaps you had something to give him?
Well, I have something to give him, definitely. I'm also troubled by the fact that visions can actually leave rocks with me. So, yeah. In light of all the other unusual things that have happened, I think a talk with the doctor might be best.
That seems fair. So you arrive at the doctor's office. It is after normal office hours when you arrive there, but your keen eyes do detect the faint glow of a back office light still on.
Well, I know that I believe he lives here as well.
I think I live above.
Yeah.
Yeah, so traditionally your actual home is above your office.
Yeah.
But to say that he lives and kind of breathes his work on a regular basis is probably not too far off.
Not inaccurate, no.
Okay. So you arrive at the office. Quiet street. There's a bit of a breeze has kicked up, and you feel the first droplets of rain on your face.
Oh, it's a very cold rain, too, because this is April.
Actually, technically, we're still a day or two left of March at this point.
That's right.
But either way.
Yeah. So I doorbell the entrance.
Yeah, there's a definite buzzer that comes from the front door. Not uncommon for the doctor's office to get a buzz after hours.
One moment, please. Mr. Forsyth, please come in.
I do, quickly. Doctor, thank you.
Close.
Sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
Check the outside.
That the city traffic is for the most part pulled off now that the business day is over. There are a few folks who are still out walking. It looks like there's a family across the street that's coming back from someplace deeper downtown. You can see that some of the gentlemen across the street have also raised their umbrellas, as it looks like there's a bit of rain coming.
Close and relock the door. What can I do for you, Mr. Forsyth?
Well, I was instructed to deliver something to you, and also I have some questions. First, let me give you this. And I reach inside my breast pocket and pull out a stone and hand it to him.
He hands you...
Take it very cautiously, with trepidation.
He hands you a obelisk-style blue stone, and when you take the stone in your hand, there's a definitive vibration that starts at your index and thumb and travels all the way through your wrist to your elbow before pausing and eventually ending its somewhat nervous, frenetic energy off into your collarbone. You definitely feel something from this.
This is impressive. What is it?
I have no idea.
Well,
but it was given to me with very specific instructions that I give it to you.
Put it on my desk. Doctor puts it on his desk.
It is supposed to protect you, I was told.
Protect me from what?
I have no idea.
After the recent incursion, if you will, adventure, I'd like to know what I'm being attacked by or protected from. But I understand if you don't know.
Well, the only thing they said was give me a moment to consult my notes.
That's okay.
Examine the rock while he's
You examine it. It's exceedingly smooth.
The one who whispers.
One who whispers. So, the one who whispers wishes me harm? Or us harm?
Yes.
Okay, then. That...
Understand, I was told this by an 8-foot man while I was unconscious, but...
Oh, well, fairly commonplace then. At least for recent events. You do realize, Mr. Forsyth, that I used to be a normal doctor, right? I'm of course kidding. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Please, I think I need one.
Absolutely. I'll go get them. I'll be right back.
There's still some coffee in the pot from earlier today. It's probably just take a few minutes to get on the burner that you've got back there to warm up enough.
Keep examining the rock while I'm making coffee. 8-foot tall man, you say?
Yes.
There are some facets. There are some facets in the stone there. There are different colors that have been blended into this. It's definitely lapis. You've seen lapis before.
Sure. But it has a hum to it.
Oh, yeah. It has a vibrational feel in your hand when you hold it. There's maybe not that much of a vibration, like if you were to put it against your skin, like your head, or so you wouldn't feel like it's not going to give you a massage by any means. But it's more like you feel the blood vessels in your skin react to it. And yet the stone itself remains cool. Almost cold.
Put it in my shirt pocket.
Yeah.
Keep it with me.
Yeah.
Bring back the coffee. Here you are, Mr. Forsyth.
Thank you. While I'm here, Doctor, I have a question.
Sure. By all means.
Have you ever been to South America?
If you had asked me this question, Mr. Forsyth, up to, I would say, 2 days ago, I would have said, absolutely not. You are insane. Now, unfortunately, I have to say, absolutely, and you are insane. That's another joke, Mr. Forsyth. I'm not good at these.
Wait, out of character, do you have those documents with you?
I do.
Can I have those, please?
Apparently, I went to Peru at one point. Not that I remember it.
You have them in your satchel or briefcase, or?
Yes, I will, in fact, hand these to the doctor and say, do these help your memory?
He produces a series of drawings for you. One of them is actually a fairly detailed topographical map of Peru. That topographical map seems purchased, as if maybe it was something that was purchased while they were there. The other two, though, are mostly hand-drawn examples of One is of the countryside, and the other seems to involve some sort of excavation or dig site.
The ruins.
Yeah. In fact, one of them seems to be some sort of pyramid. And you feel a flash of memory at seeing the topographical example of something you might have been in, or if your memory is correct, were in.
If memory serves me, and it hasn't been very well recently, yes, I have been here. In fact, I've been to this exact place. The pyramid.
When was this?
Years ago? 2 years ago. If the information that I am gathering is to be believed. Believe me, it is as unusual as sounding to me as it is to you, as I have no recollection other than a few brief visions that I have had, and some second-hand information that I have gotten from a trusted source.
Doctor, if I hadn't pulled those out of my attic... Now, so far, you're the third person I've talked to that I've met in the last week who's been to Peru at about the same time I evidently was in Peru. I don't remember Peru, and I don't remember any of you.
Neither do I. This disturbs me to no end. I rely on my intellect. It is literally, as you say, my butter and bread.
So what do you know?
Well, I know that whatever happened to me there, and whatever happened to us there, was so traumatic that I blocked it out. Gone from my memory. I have been doing a lot of research into that, actually, that very thing. The psychologists refer to it as, I had it on the tip of my tongue. Disassociation is a mental condition. Now, for it to happen to all of us, well, I'm beginning to suspect that it might be something more than just a grand medical condition.
Unless we all have the same medical condition.
Or if it was imposed upon us by your 8-foot-tall friend who only appears when you are sleeping. I'm not knocking it after what we have seen. Trust me. But it's neither here nor there. We really should find out if we've all been there. And if that's the case, we should get everyone together and compare notes.
Well, I've already talked with Miss O'Shea and Mr. Doyle. The only one I don't have a location on is Stazi.
Stazi. Oh. Well, have you tried calling her apartment?
No, I have not.
I have her number on file. Hang on.
I think what I'll rule it as is it's probably a big house that's been split into 2 different flats, an upper and a lower.
Okay.
And
That would probably be
it's a faculty house, so you probably have people that live above you.
Right.
And you and Mary probably dominate the lower floor, because both people, somebody on the upper and somebody on the lower, is a member of the faculty.
Right.
So it is a house, but it's split into 2.
And most of the time, our upstairs neighbors are probably away because they're on, keeping with the departments. They're probably off on their own research projects and whatnot.
Yeah,
so that would afford us a level of privacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll give her a ring. See if I can get a hold of her.
Okay. Miss Stazi, your phone rings.
Hello,
Hello, Stazi.
Doctor. How are you?
Well, I wish I could say completely okay, but I have another weird thing to talk to you about.
I'm going to go out on a limb from previous conversations I've had with a few others and say it has something to do with South America.
You are as brilliant as you are beautiful. Why don't you come down to my office? We will talk it out. When you have time.
No. My roommate is not due back for a little while, and I think I'll go a little crazy if I stay here in these 4 walls any longer waiting. So a distraction would be a lovely thing, even one is along these lines. I'll be there shortly.
Fantastic. We will see you soon.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Should be here soon.
Okay. You recollect yourself, kind of pull what you need together, Stazi, and get ready to leave the house. Mm-hmm. How are you planning on getting there?
We'll could probably call a taxi.
Okay. You call a taxi. Yeah, you call a taxi. Mm-hmm. It shows up probably about 10 or so minutes later. Ooh. You see it waiting outside.
Quite prompt.
Must have been close.
Mm. So, grab my bag, shut the door, lock, and head in.
Yeah, you walking out the front door, walking out the back door, which one?
Probably front door.
Front door? Okay. You walk out the front door and give me a spot hidden roll.
Yes, that is a success.
Okay. As you're locking the front door, turning around, heading towards the cab, there's a bit of a yard and a sidewalk and then the boulevard before you actually get to the cab. As you're walking towards the cab, you see that there, from the left side of the street, the left side of the sidewalk there's someone walking. There's a man, hat, coat, walking up the sidewalk.
Does he look like the gentleman that kind of barged in one of the last times?
No. He's a bit short. It's a little dark, and it's now raining, and so there's a bit of an umbrella to contend with as well.
That's true. So, I note that he's there and continue.
Absolutely.
I do quicken my pace just a touch.
You quicken your pace. You're going to end up not necessarily crossing paths them. You're going to cross the sidewalk before. Mm-hmm. So you'll have the 10 or so feet with the boulevard to contend with before you get to the curb where the cab is. Mm-hmm. But as you reach the sidewalk, you hear the sound of horror reach down the back of your neck as an old, gruffer male voice says, "Good evening, Agnes."
How close am I to the taxi?
You're probably about 10 feet.
That would quite possibly stop me in my tracks.
Running off on another? It's late.
I'm sorry. I who? I'm terribly
He
sorry.
takes a couple steps further towards you.
I back. I have not yet turned around. I'm still facing.
You can hear
him.
his footsteps. That's
and I
all
will
you
probably,
need.
as I hear the footsteps, I will probably take a couple steps closer to the taxi.
You're gonna run off again into the night, just like you did years ago.
I'm sorry. I do not. I am terribly sorry,
buddy.
sir.
You hear him address the taxi. She doesn't need the taxi. Why don't you take off?
No, I'm here, and I just bolt for the door.
Okay, you bolt for the door. Why don't you go ahead and give me your dexterity?
No, do not.
You bolt for the taxi. A heavy foot comes to the taxi door and kind of smacks against it and staples it shut before you can open it. Your right wrist gets grabbed by a very heavy hand. Not this time, Agnes. Not this time. I can't believe the gall. You'd try to just flush all our lives down the drain and come to Chicago? Unbelievable.
You're hurting me.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's just a pinch of the pain you put us through. He looks back down into the cab. Hey, Max, scram. Take off.
I look at the cab driver and just very gently shake my head with this pleading look in my eye.
I'm gonna have you make a contested charm versus his intimidate roll.
Of course you are.
You betcha.
No.
You can spend luck.
No, not with that roll. It's close, but not close enough for me to...
You hear, yeah, no problem, man, no problem. You hear the car get
Please.
put into gear.
Please don't leave.
He looks at you, and then he looks at Herman, and he puts his foot on the accelerator and moves away from the curb.
No, please.
Herman, let's go of your arm. Is this what you're calling yourself, Miss Fairchild now? It's cute. It's cute.
You've obviously gotten through without me.
Yeah. No thanks to you. Any idea how I explained it to my family? Any idea how I explained it to the guys at work?
I'm sure you did just fine over about the 5 or 10 beers that you probably put away as you ranted away.
Yeah, it's been my only solace, I gotta tell you. Only solace.
It was your only solace before. Why would it change?
You got a lot of nerve. You left me. Yeah? You left me. And everything else that came with it. I bet this whole place thinks you're just another angel.
It's just a place to live.
It's just another mask for you to wear. Isn't it? Where are you off to?
Why would I tell you?
I don't know. How about because we're married, Agnes?
Nowhere important.
Nowhere important. You got to call a cab for, huh?
Gotta get around somehow.
So does the college here know that you're running under a fake name?
What do you want?
You know what I want? I want my wife to come home to Milwaukee where she belongs.
Your wife is long dead. Why don't you go find another one? Someone else who will put up with your garbage.
Yeah, well, maybe if my pots hadn't been so cold, there wouldn't have been any garbage. You ever think of that? No. You only think about yourself. You have a good night, Miss Fairchild. I'll be in touch. He stalks on down the University Street. Miss O'Shea.
Mm-hmm.
You are just about to go off to slumber.
Because today's Friday, right?
Today is Friday.
So tomorrow I have my show.
You do have your show. And as you are about to go to sleep, you're still perusing over some of the book that you managed to rescue from stockyards. And you've come to a bit of an epiphany about what they were researching. They seem to be researching a being called Yig. This creature, this god, as they see fit to have called it, evidently has some root not only in America, but Mesoamerica, but even beyond that. Supposedly, the family that makes its home in Salem seems to have been worshipping Yig for many, many years. Even back towards colonial times.
Okay.
And they seem to have sent out several different groups, they call them clutches, to go to different cities to prepare worship centers, almost like a church, to draw people in to their services. There's only a minor footnote about it here, and you managed to put it together. Some of the history that the book shows, you managed to put it together after reading it for about a week. Your collected time in is just about 2 weeks, after which you'll get the role and the rest of the benefits, potentially.
Interesting. All right.
You drift off to sleep, and in your semi-lucid state, you realize that you are in a hospital bed. And you see a man at your bedside.
Okay.
At the bedside there, he seems to be wiping your head with a cold towel. You look left, you look right a little bit, and you also see there are others around you in the hospital beds. You see Doyle to your left. You see the doctor to your right.
Okay.
And in this dream, a reasonably well-dressed African-American man is wiping your forehead and holding your hand, telling you that things are going to be okay.
Is it the same man as I identified as Jesse before?
Yep, same man. He says, "Don't worry, miss. We're going to get you out of here. You're almost better. It's all right. We're back in the States now. I'll make sure everything is all right. Just you hang in there." And kind of lightly drift off to a early Friday night slumber. Mr. Doyle, the mouth of hell has opened for you, and explosion after explosion from this barrel of hell that's been pointed at you only serves to force you back into the war mindset. You hit the deck as quickly as you can. The front of your shop has been eviscerated by weapons fire. Glass, wood, even the street itself have been pocked and shattered by bullet holes. And as the car speeds away, all you can hear is laughter. And then you hear some screaming.
Well, I will gingerly and cautiously pick myself up off the ground, brush myself off.
You do what any good soldier does. You check yourself for bullet holes just in case. When you do, you realize that you've got a notch in your coat now on the left shoulder. Through and through. It didn't hit you, but it got your coat.
Damn, this is my good coat.
You have some knowledge, some working knowledge of the Thompson. You also know that the Thompson, while as sinister as a weapon it is, from a moving vehicle, it is not an accurate weapon.
Yeah, it's not much of an accurate weapon, even for not from a moving vehicle.
Correct. It is a terrifying weapon, though.
Yeah.
Mostly because of all the 45 caliber ammunition it puts down range. And the sound. The sound is something terrifying.
You won't forget that.
Nope. Neither will your neighbors now. You dust yourself off. The front end of your business is now a bit, less than reputable now. And a man comes over across the street. "Hey, you all right, buddy?"
Yeah, man. I've had worse.
Golly. Worse than that?
Went across trenches.
Oh, yeah, veteran. Well, he looks left and looks right up the street just to make sure there aren't any cars coming. Well, good luck to you.
Yeah.
He kind of scampers back across the street. And he seems to be scampering for his life.
I suppose I should wait for the police.
Yeah, within probably a minute or two, you start hearing sirens. They seem quite a ways off. But provided you wait for them, they do show up. A couple of uniformed officers show up. Kind of check out the front of the building from the safety of their vehicle for a moment, and then get out. "Hey, you all right, bud?"
Yeah. Had some hail damage.
Yeah, it looks like it. Was it a Dion O'Banion weather pattern that came in here? Or?
I think it's weather from Italy, actually.
Weather from Italy, huh? Tough this time of year.
Mm.
You just take your information down and then I guess let us know if you hear anything.
Yeah, I'll do that.
They take your information down. One of the guys seems to key in a little bit on your name when you give it. And then the older guy says, you were a cop like us.
Yeah, back in the day.
Oh, jeez. Some kind of old case coming back to bite you?
No, I think it's a new case, but...
Well, listen, buddy. You do the right thing. You figure out who these folks are and you let us know. We'll do our best to take care of it.
Absolutely.
They take your statement. They inspect the building a little bit. They record anything that was damaged. and then they basically move about their way. There's really not much for them to do here.
Right.
If you don't know who did it or aren't going to say. And then the question begs is, where are you going from here?
Well, I was going to go home.
Yeah? We'll change of plans now?
No, I think I'm going to go home.
Okay. Okay. Miss Stazi, you're still heading to the doctor's office?
Stazi, once she gets her feet underneath her, shakily goes back into the house very quickly and pours herself a very large stiff drink.
Right.
And downs at least one very quickly and then pours a second one. Kind of gets herself together a little bit. I'll then go into the bedroom, grab a small suitcase, just grab a couple of handfuls of clothes, just some basics, into the bag. Couple of toiletries, hairbrush, a few basics on those. Writes out a quick note on letter to Mary, stating that I'm sorry that I have to leave for a few days unexpectedly, and just to be very careful, and suggest that she may want to go stay with a friend of ours away from the campus, that something has happened and she may not be safe here at the apartment, that I would contact her at that friend's house within the few days.
Okay.
I'll leave that in an envelope on the counter. Take another drink. And
You've massed the courage to leave the house.
then I make a phone call. And I try Mr. Doyle's office.
Well, let me think here, given the time. So yeah, round about the time you're about to leave for your house, you're outside, the cops have moved on, you're just about ready to go to your domicile, Mr. Doyle, and from outside you hear the phone ringing inside.
Go back inside.
Okay. About 4 or 5 rings into it, you pick up.
Doyle.
Mr. Doyle, it's Stazi.
Oh, Spirit Child, what can I do for you?
I'm in need of some assistance. Could you and Mr. Forsyth possibly drive? I believe Mr. Forsyth still has a car. Could you possibly meet me on the northwestern campus? There's a union where the students eat. I rattle off a couple of.
Sure.
It's right off there. Could the two of you meet me there as quickly as possible?
Yeah, I don't know if I can get Mr. Forsyth. He's going over to the doctor's place.
That's fine.
I'll come.
Thank you. I'll meet you there. Be careful.
Are you okay?
No, Mr. Doyle. Things just got a lot worse.
Would you want me to come to your house?
No. I'll meet you at the Memorial Hall. I'll meet you as quickly as possible. Please, just meet me there. Thank you.
Okay.
Click. I don't even.
Yeah. The two of you begin winding your way towards each other. So we'll redline all that travel. We'll say 20 minutes or so passes and you find yourself at Memorial Hall. Miss Stazi, you take probably a bit of a surreptitious way there. Mindful to check every street corner and every man of a reasonable build wearing a coat and a hat and using an umbrella in a rainstorm, which is to say the shadows stare at you from the eyes of many, many men who walk the streets. But you make it.
Light up a cigarette outside while I'm waiting. don't even care about convention at this point.
Mr. Doyle, you arrive to find Miss Stazi smoking outside the hall.
Miss Stazi, I got here as soon as I could.
Thank you. We need to go now.
Okay.
And I almost like
I escorted her to the cab.
Yeah.
We gotta.
Did you call Jimmy, by the way? Just wondering.
Yeah, I could call Jimmy.
I'm just asking. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a cab driver, you know. People tend to create
Right.
relationships with cab drivers they know. Yeah, he welcomes you into his luxurious yellow cab. Where to?
Dr. Talkenbach's office, please. Quickly.
Dr. Talkenbach's office.
He steps on it and peels his way
I
into
pull out a
traffic.
flask.
When she pulls out a flask, it doesn't take you but 2 seconds to realize she's already been drinking. You can't hide that much booze.
You want to talk about it now, or do you want to wait till we get to the doctor's?
It'd probably just be easier to relay any information at one time. Unfortunately, Mr. Doyle, our past is coming back to haunt us. Some of us more than others.
Speaking of which, Jimmy, thanks for relaying that warning to Miss O'Shea.
You're welcome. I like to look out for her when I can.
Right, I understand.
Well, I mean, she's a good customer.
Right, absolutely. That's all it is.
Yeah. You guys arrive about 10 minutes or so later at the office of Dr. Talkenbach. You also see that Mr. Forsyth's car is outside. So when you arrive, most of the lights are off, except the main light, which is probably now on. Although the sign still says closed, because it's after hours.
So there I was, standing in the middle of the hall, completely naked, covered in gin. One second. Mr. Doyle, please come in.
I just push past. I just go in.
Yes,
I'll check the street before I go in.
Okay. Yeah.
I check out the windows.
Everything
Make
on the
sure I
street,
take a look
Doyle,
on the
seems pretty reasonable to you. Jimmy waits a half a second before leaving, but he makes sure to get a nod from you. Unfortunately, Miss O'Shea is asleep at this point. But, that's okay.
I stand up as soon as she enters.
Absolutely.
Take 1 minute to notice that she's not paying any attention to any of us.
Most notably you, yes, she's not paying attention to you. Although you do the gentlemanly thing anyway, and you stand up for her, which is what you would be
Yes.
used to doing.
Are you okay?
She needs something for her nerves, Doc.
I have something. I'm sure I have. One more.
Opium, just the thing.
Minor sedative. Roll up your sleeve, please.
No. I'll be all right. I got it. I can't.
Well, it's already out. Might as well. No, I'm kidding. Can't put it back in the cabinet.
You broke the seal, so you have to use it. Oops, sorry. Here's some opium.
So he just injects himself instead.
How do you think he makes it through these episodes?
That's right.
Light up another cigarette and just.
You look shaken.
Well, past can come back to haunt us.
I'm finding that to be very true recently.
Yeah.
More so than I realized.
The question is your past going to kill you?
Possibly.
Well, then there we go. We've got something in common.
Is your
again.
past going to kill you more immediately?
Not quickly.
Mr. Doyle, this sounds like something in your alley.
Well, as soon as she feels up to telling us.
Of course. However, when it comes to us, we are not all here. Where's Miss O'Shea?
I assume she's at her house. She was there when I left her to go find Mr. Doyle.
Please try to help calm Miss Stazi's nerves, and I will try to get hold of Miss O'Shea. I am done. Lily was here. Okay.
Mr. Doyle, do you still have any friends in your former line of work?
Oh, yes.
Any chance you could you have any favors to call in?
I can talk to some people. What's up?
I need to know my roommate's going to be okay. She's due back in town soon, and she doesn't know. She doesn't know. I just need to know that she's going to be all right. I just need to know that the place is covered, that she's going to be okay.
Okay.
He won't know. He doesn't know.
You need to let us know what's going on so I can...
Yeah, everyone has a past, Mr. Doyle. A past that they have tried to run away from and they thought they had killed. Sometimes the dead come back.
Dr. Topmock, you ring Miss O'Shea.
I do.
You are not so deeply sleeping that you do not wake up when you hear your phone ring.
One ringy dingy.
Two ringy dingy.
Two ringy dingy.
Hello?
You hear a, mostly muffled voice. Hello?
Miss O'Shea,
Yeah.
it's Dr. Totten back.
What did I get? A whole hour?
It's time for your
Roughly, yeah.
shot.
Did you get sleep?
A whole hour.
Well, then you're an hour more than I have.
All week.
Really? That's terrifying.
No, I probably got more, but it doesn't feel like it.
I can give you something for that, but I would need you to come down to the office. I'm going to need you to come down to the office anyway.
Oh.
What's
going on?
We have some things we need to discuss. All of us, not just you.
Okay, well, just so you know, I have a job tomorrow night.
Okay. The conversation shouldn't take that long.
Well, we start meeting up one day, and then a whole weekend passes, and it gets crazy.
That's very true. I remember that very vaguely.
So I'm just saying.
Oddly enough,
Good
it was
job,
about
dude.
getting close to about this time last week that y'all met.
Yep.
I did, for the audience, I did use air quotes there.
Yes, there were air quotes aplenty.
All right, yeah, I'll be down there.
The door would be open.
Flashback
We'll see you soon.
2 years and 1 minute earlier.
So I'll have to call Jimmy.
You do? You call Jimmy? Yeah, hey, I was just there.
What? Oh,
At the doctor's office, I was just there.
yeah. Everybody apparently got together without telling me.
It must have been a birthday celebration, because I'm telling you what, Miss Fairchild, she smelled like a liquor cabinet.
So she's having a good night.
No, I mean, she smelled like my liquor cabinet.
Oh, yikes. Okay.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
You probably drink more than I do.
I think we'll try to say here, Jim.
I don't do it behind the wheel. It's not good practice. I'll be over in a few minutes.
Thanks.
So while we're waiting for Mr. Shea to arrive, please continue.
Pour the last of the flask into a, I don't know, whatever kind of cup or
There's a couple of dirty
beaker or
coffee
something,
cups.
whatever I can find.
There's some dirty coffee cups, a few pieces of medical equipment.
A beaker.
A beaker. Not that one, that time. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sure what was in there won't kill you.
Not much more. At this point,
You have me concerned. Stazi. Is there something we can do to help you?
not unless you can turn back time, change history, or commit murder.
Well, I can do the first two things, and I loathe to do the third thing. But the weekend is proving to shape up no different than the last one, so honestly, I'm not going to say that I can't do the first two things. I'm just going to say I'm ill-practiced at some.
Yeah, I'm not sure time dilation is your... We're not really there. We haven't gone to the mad scientist portion of the game, so you're not...
You just give me some time.
Well,
You just let me...
wouldn't it be like you taking time? No, never mind, I don't know.
But I'll give it back eventually.
Stealing time.
Correct.
Or how time flies.
Killing time. Miss O'Shea will be here quite soon. And then we will all be gathered yet again. I'm starting to fear when we all get together.
Well, it's not only when we get together things happen.
That's true. But it does seem to increase the probabilities. Anyway.
Mr. Forsyth, it dawns on you that
Yeah.
your breast pocket is a bit weightier than it should be.
Yeah, yes, but quite frankly, I don't know whether or not handing this to her in her current state is a good idea. It's kind of sharp on the end.
Well, I mean, pointy objects and all.
But Miss Fairchild.
Yeah. What's...
He hands you a 3 to 4 inch long lapis obelisk. It is cool, almost cold to the touch. And when he gives it to you, there is a definitive hum, almost like a very low powered electric razor to it. It's exciting, almost. Like, it excites the pores on your skin. It's a strange sensation to have in the emotional situation you're in right now. But it definitely feels good.
Where's this? What is this?
It was given to me while I was unconscious by an 8-foot man who said it will protect you.
Mr. Forsyth, we need to come at that story a different way.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way of putting that.
This is
Look,
absolutely
Doyle, I'm not exactly known for my wordplay here.
That's true.
It is rather beautiful. It's the outer part of the obelisk has a bit of marbling to it as the blues play with white and cream colors.
You should just hang on to it. Apparently it's supposed to protect us.
Protect us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I think would do you well right now.
Miss O'Shea, you arrive out front.
I'll pay Jimmy, tip him, and thank you.
Thank you kindly.
Have a good night.
I will.
Stay out of trouble.
No promises.
In other words, don't come when you call.
Right?
I mean, that's fair, right? You step into the doctor's office.
I'm sorry, we are closed. Oh, Miss O'Shea. Can you lock the door, please?
You lock the door.
Danke.
Drop shade.
I check the front street again.
Fairly quiet, actually. Most of the post-dinner traffic is over. The doctor doesn't really live and work on an especially busy block, per se, although it is a bit wider of a street in this area of Chicago to accommodate hospital vehicles and that sort of thing. And the 5 of you there together.
Yeah, well, once again, all of us here together. So, we have something to discuss. These visions that we are having. First of all,
South America.
Peru. Everyone, all of us.
Yes.
And yet, does anyone else notice that we just met last weekend?
Apparently that's not true.
Apparently that's not true.
Have you seen this yet?
He hands you a news article.
Anybody else know who Jesse is?
Jesse?
No.
He was with us.
He was.
You know who Jesse is?
I've met him, apparently.
Okay.
Apparently he was quite important
Right.
to our return and my recovery.
Mine too.
Hmm.
In the hospital?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see you there. And Doyle.
Oh, at the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
It was stateside though.
Larkin?
Larkin.
Augustus.
Larkin.
Does that name strike any bells?
It's funny you should mention that. Why don't you roll sanity?
Because I didn't want to keep mine anyway.
I'm clearly done with it.
I wasn't using it anyways. How about a...
Overrated.
What is my current sanity? So I rolled a 50, and my current sanity is slightly less than that.
Okay. So, for the moment, we'll leave your sanity where it is. The name does ring a bell. You remember on the long train ride, you remember during that vision you have of the long train ride down to South America, you remembered that you were answering the invitation of one Augustus Larkin to assist in the excavation of a mysterious pyramid that they'd been found in the Peruvian desert, or Peruvian jungle, sorry. And it snaps in your memory like you snapping a reed
I dig in.
on the lake.
Mr. Doyle.
You see a yellow piece of paper get passed between the two of them.
So this is proof positive that we've known each other before. We've gone on this.
Well, I mean, it's evidence that some physical evidence that.
Did we
I think
all
we should
end up?
contact that. I think I've been trying to contact Larkin. I haven't been able to do so yet. I think we should check that hotel and see if we can get any information from them.
This is a fantastic idea.
Did we all end up in the
Stazi,
hospital?
please put out your cigarettes. Good lord.
I don't know. I don't have any recollection
They're
of the
bad for you.
hospital.
I do.
That's not true.
I remember that I ended up in a hospital. Very brief flash, but I don't. 1921. The archaeological dig.
I know
I remember
Mr.
that we were
Forsyth
headed
found some drawings. Has anybody else found any other physical evidence of this?
Actually, in all of my journals, that entire time period is gone.
That's
Not a mention,
That's evidence enough.
not nothing.
Sometimes, I'm sure as you know, we don't look for what we're seeing, we look for what we are not seeing. And in this case, if all of your journals have been changed in such a way, then it would seem
I just think it's weird that everybody has something physical and mine is nothing.
Yeah, I don't have anything physical. I haven't had an
don't
opportunity
either.
to look. I was going to go back to my apartment and check there.
I
don't really want to go back to my office
I
in the
think your
moment.
lack of evidence is your evidence.
That's true.
I don't have anything.
Yet,
Have you looked?
and are you sure?
I can't go back there.
Miss Stazi, how is it that we all have physical evidence and you come to us complaining of, well, not complaining, I'm not saying you're complaining, but you come to us with stories of your past having come back to haunt you? It would seem to me that you, in fact, do have something from your past, physical
No,
evidence.
he was not involved. He couldn't be. He wasn't.
Why don't you tell us who he is?
Indeed. And perhaps we can help. Mr. Doyle is known for doing very good things.
Very terrible things.
Hey. Well, I suppose so.
Well, a little bit of both.
It doesn't matter. It can't matter. He had nothing to do with it. He hasn't. He was long gone. He was never a part of this. I was here
This would put us in Peru for a long time.
1921.
Not. I mean,
All that travel?
not necessarily. It looks like part of the road from Lima to Camana is actually a very large trade route. Well traveled.
Okay.
You could probably, in a leisurely trip, it would probably take you a few 2 weeks.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
But I don't think that if we went leisurely.
Still, I mean, that's still like a week and a half, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I guess it depends how we traveled, too.
We traveled on train.
Oh. Okay.
I have a train ticket.
Okay.
I remember us being, I think, in a truck at some point. A bus?
I'm going to call some connection. Do you have any connections at the local big hospital?
I would assume so. I mean, you're a doctor that works out amongst the people, so you would probably have contacts at the hospital, sure.
Okay, I'm going to give them a call real quick.
Okay.
Right. See if I can get records. I need to look up inoculations for a Miss. What was your full name? Maeve O'Shea.
inoculation.
Yeah, travel inoculations, especially leaving the country, even in the teens, especially in the teens, they would inoculate you for what you could, so to prevent you from catching what you could catch.
Okay, so I'm going to have you make a medicine roll, but not that you're doing medicine, but you're... Actually, wait, no, sorry, scratch that. I'm going to have you make... What's your credit rating?
40.
Give me a credit rating roll. Are you telling your contact that you just need her records? Are you telling her the contact anything else?
I need to see her records for the last couple of years.
They would ask you if you're her physician.
Yes, absolutely, I'm her physician.
Okay, then you're going to be given advantage on this roll.
Okay, I am absolutely on her.
You are flexing your professional muscle, as it were.
Yeah, I'm just going to borrow your die since I'm using it for your benefit here.
And I'm just going to roll a 9.
Yeah, 14 under my credit rating, so that's under my
success.
It's under my heart.
They tell you normally it would take them probably a few hours to look the records up, but if you don't mind holding for just a few moments, they'll...
Don't mind at all.
Okay. They come back probably 5 or so minutes later. You hear a bit of a scramble on the phone and some papers, and they say, Doctor, it does appear she was inoculated for several different... They list 3 or 4 shots that she was given in 1921.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Dankeschön.
You're welcome.
And you have a good day. I may call back later with another patient. I'm doing a case study, but...
Of course. We'll be here until 9.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
They hang out.
Miss O'Shea, you did leave the country. In fact, you've been inoculated.
Well, I figured that I had. I mean, I know we were in some restaurant when we all met.
This also proves, with things other than things we found, that we did, in fact, leave the country.
Doyle, when Miss O'Shea mentions the restaurant, it triggers your memory of being in the bar with her.
Right. Yeah,
So-
there was
and
actually
actually-
a bar.
Meeting Larkin at the bar.
Yeah. Larkin was there. I talked to him. In this memory. A bar. It was hot.
Yeah,
A
it
lot
was
of
hot and humid. We talked about the pyramid. There was a news story about an expedition for a lost pyramid. So...
I'd like everyone to make me... Actually, what we're going to do is make a group, what's called a group POW roll. So what I'd like to do is, I'd like to know the lowest POW in the group.
I got a 65.
50.
40.
55.
I'll be making a group POW roll for you. I just need to know the lowest.
Aren't you glad I'm already crazy?
Great and curve.
Excellent, very good. You said 40?
40.
Okay. So you all are commiserating a bit about this. You're trading, the bulletin, the news story, the maps of Peru back and forth. And as you do so, each of you who are carrying this blue stone on you now begin to feel that same resonant hum that you felt when you hold it. You start feeling it all over your body. And in front of you, you begin to see this breakaway vision as you've done before. As with all of your other single visions, you see a table at a hotel. You see seats. You see yourselves sitting in them, commiserating, drinking. Doyle, you see Larkin patting you on the shoulder, telling you about how great the expedition's going to be.
Is Jesse there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Across the table, there is a young, well-suited African-American gentleman who is regaling you with his world travel and his ability to impress those he talks to. He's a very well-spoken man. Miss Stazi, you see yourself years younger than you are now, and almost freer. The Peru air has seemed to do you fairly well, and you're trading stories with another one of Larkin's compatriots, a man named Mendoza, who's has a different, almost a dangerous feel to him. Mendoza, Miss O'Shea, is not far from you in this vision. The same man who you would eventually see turn into a monster in one of your other visions.
Right. The monster. Okay.
Although you cannot see his rows and rows of circular teeth at this point. He's not lampreying currently.
Right.
You have this collective, harmonious vision. It almost feels like a seance, almost. It lasts maybe 30 seconds until it slips into the ether and you land hard back into the current reality that you're in. And now everyone makes me a sanity roll.
There it is.
Oh, not you, Mr. Forsyth. We'll just hang on to yours from previous time.
Yes!
No.
Oh, shit, bird. Not even a little bit.
I made it by 2.
High five.
Yes!
I failed it by 30-something.
Made it.
Okay, so for those of you who did not make it, you lose a point of sanity from having a literal vision in front of you. For those of you who did make it,
Lose a point of sanity.
no. For those of you who did make it,
For watching your friend's eyes bleed.
the memories are not fleeting. They now stick as a fixed point in your brain. They are no longer obscured by the fog of history. That little grain of sand is no longer placed into a pearl. It is an actual memory in your brain. Now you remember being in Peru, at least at the bar, in the hotel, at least talking with Augustus Larkin, the man who had invited you down there for the expedition, meeting each one of you. You begin to create those actual ties. And it makes a whole lot more sense all of a sudden. Or perhaps it simply confirms that you're crazy. Whichever you're hoping for.
I'm going for crazy.
The crystals stop humming. You stop feeling the vibrational sensation from them.
Well, that was interesting.
Yes.
So this guy that I just noticed this time, Mendoza, he turns into a monster.
Like, okay.
No,
Like a figurative monster?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Are we talking something along the lines of what we saw?
He looks like he had big,
Leech mouth.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, like a mouth, like with the extra.
The teeth. And
There you, yeah.
Such a waste of handsomeness.
Oh my god.
But then, so if I remember right, Doyle grabs this gold piece.
He has to put it into it. It has to fit into something.
I know that's what we were grabbing it for, because we had to find Larkin. But anyways, he turns into some crazy monster.
Yeah, crazy.
If it's anything along the lines of what we saw before, shipyard, the yards, the starter, I can't.
But we did.
It actually seems and feels wholly different from what you'd experienced at the stockyards.
Miss O'Shea brings up a valuable point. It's not that you can't. Because you already did, apparently.
Right. We all met at that bar.
In Peru.
Yeah.
at the archaeological dig.
No, this was at the bar before when we first were
At the
deciding
hotel.
on what to do. Yes,
In Lima.
in Lima.
In Lima. In Peru.
I have no idea what they're talking about with all this crazy stuff because, smells like leeches and I don't remember a bit of it.
No, but you definitely remember traveling by train to Peru.
This is true. This is true.
And that fact for you is unavoidable.
But I think that's why they ended up in hospitals, and I don't remember ending up in a hospital, and they don't remember me in a hospital.
If we could go back.
That would be good. Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Wait, okay,
Yes,
let me
I-
throw. Let me.
Yeah,
The
let's
one
get
that
out of town.
deals with mystical,
Yes, get out of
spooky stuff.
That'd be good. I need to go.
My point is, if we go back and we start snooping in all the same places, who's to say there isn't somebody waiting for us to go back, figuring out that we're remembering something we're not supposed to remember?
Oh, you have a very good point. It's exciting.
We won't know
Wait.
unless we do it.
That's a way to describe it, I suppose.
Wait. It's an
I think
abandoned temple in the middle of nowhere?
Well, if we already went there, it's already been
If memory
discovered.
serves. If memory serves.
Look,
It doesn't seem to.
Miss O'Shea, you can tear down as much jungle as you want, and if you're a mile away from it, you never know that somebody did. The very earth down there moves to conceal anything a man does.
The temple is not completely empty, by the way.
Well, I would assume there's more monsters in there.
There's something in there. As I said, if memory serves.
I'm just saying because if that, it's not like that guy just randomly turned into a monster.
No. But
okay, there are two things I would like to point out before we go any further.
That
One,
we're talking about monsters?
that's entirely, we're way beyond that.
he has a point. We are far past that now, Liebchen.
Yeah, I mean, that ship has sailed. One, let's not even talk about going down there until we know more. Okay,
Well, for
there's
sure.
no reason to just rush down there
Yeah.
for no reason, half cocked. And two, why would we even go down there? I understand that we have these huge holes in our memory. There's a mystery, but obviously it didn't work out so well last time, and maybe our minds have paved over it for a reason. Maybe there's no reason to go down there.
Morbid curiosity.
Is not a good reason. And trust me, I deal in morbid curiosity all the time.
You sound just like my father.
I spent 3 hours looking for Augustus Larkin, only to find out it was the wrong Larkin. I'm just saying I cannot find anything on him where
Okay.
he's at.
Maybe he died down there.
Good, let's go and confirm.
But that's not our problem.
Better than staying here.
2 years later, nothing bad has come from it. Maybe we should just let sleeping dogs
You say
fly.
that, but we didn't start having these memories until after all that crazy shit happened.
Yet.
Well, some crazy shit happens, and it stirred up some memories.
Okay, but
I say we just
because you don't remember a guy
bury
turning into a
them,
monster
bury
doesn't mean
them
it's
deep,
not related to a giant
then-
snake sleeping under Chicago.
and then bury the shovel.
I
I have
can't
enough issues
Music
right now
enough.
without worrying about what happened 2 years ago in some temple down in the jungle.
actually agree with Mr. Doyle on this one. Even though it was my suggestion, it was just a suggestion. I have a practice that I have to worry about right now.
But we can continue looking into it. But I say we do it safely from the streets of Chicago.
Yeah.
As safe as they are.
There had to be some news or something about something, or you would
Well-
think. I mean, we're talking about people that disappeared. Like, Mendoza, gone. I mean, if he was a monster, well, he was killed. So, he's gone.
Okay.
So what you're contending, I hate to interject, but what you're contending is that when people go missing, something usually is reported. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like something would...
I mean, like Jonathan Swift.
Well, I guess it depends who's looking up for
Okay.
things.
That is simply my point. But continue.
Hey, I tell you what, if we could find this Jesse character that people keep talking about.
He's the one I want to find.
Now, if we had, I assume he's from New York. It sounds like he's from New York. If we had a last name, maybe we could find him. Maybe we could talk to him. Maybe we could call this hotel and talk to somebody there.
I have a better question. How old was Larkin when do I remember when we met him?
No, Larkin seemed to be in his maybe mid-30s or early 40s. He didn't seem to be an old man by any means.
Just a bit older than me.
A bit older than you, yeah. And he actually seemed to have a bit of season to him. He didn't seem like at least at first from your memories, he didn't seem like a wild man or anything unbecoming. He seemed to be a seasoned explorer and excavator.
But my question remains: if we went down there at the behest of Larkin, I assume Larkin went with us.
Yeah, it's actually. Let me think here.
No, we met him in the bar down there.
You did, but
we went down there for.
Hold on a moment, Mr. Doyle. You had a vision where you were on horseback.
Right.
Mr. Larkin was with you during that experience. So
right.
At some point after the bar, he was with you going towards this location.
I assume that he was probably down there before us, setting stuff up, arranged for us to meet him down there.
So where is he now?
Well, we lost track of him at one point.
However, if he's a seasoned explorer, it's quite possible that somebody in the scholarly archaeological realm might know who he is. And I do believe that we have a fine museum and university here.
Shit.
If nothing else, he'd have left an obituary.
Maybe. If he died and somebody left an obituary. If he just disappeared in the jungles, there may never be an obituary.
Mm. But then there'd be an article about someone disappearing. Especially if they're in the news for going and doing an expedition. If it's newsworthy to go, then them turning up missing would be equally newsworthy.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that I would say to that is, especially given your history, everything that happened in the Panama Canal build got reported, right?
No, there was a lot that didn't get reported.
Okay, so that's just my point. Yeah. My point is that just because something is... I mean, this is the 20s, keep that in mind. Traveling and excavations and digs, especially when it comes to Egypt and whatnot, in that time, they're real hot. They're very popular in the news. And they don't always do follow-ups on those pieces. Could be because reporters aren't paid to or something else is going on.
But the other part of it is that people also... I would know this much. People keep track of one another for much the same reason that a certain fictional German would keep track of one Dr. Jones.
Okay, sure. But barring any Indiana Jones references, I guess the thing that I'll point out is that Peru isn't necessarily as developed as Egypt or any of the other places where common dig sites might be. It's Lima, Peru. So there might not be a reporter from the Times or from the Chicago Tribune.
True, but I'm not thinking about reporters. I'm thinking about other archaeologists, because the race to find new dig sites, to find new discoveries, causes a lot of professional problems.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
People keep track of one another.
Absolutely. It's just the characters have not yet investigated the paper.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Tiffany's character, although Tiffany's character unfortunately failed that role, so we don't really know if there is anything else out there about Larkin's expedition failing.
Well,
because y'all haven't checked.
It's very late.
It's quite late.
And
we are not going to get many more answers this evening.
No.
Well,
if we're going to start getting answers, it'll have to be tomorrow.
Miss Stazi, I have a couch upstairs. Would you like to sleep on it? I will sleep down here.
I grab a piece of paper or something on a desk. Okay, so I'm not saying anything. Just go over to the desk and just grab a piece of paper. I write down 3 names on it.
Oh, I can't read. I've been doing a lot of this by guesswork.
So, yeah, I write down 3 names. One is my contact at the paper. The second is the name Salomone. And the third is the name of a professor in the archaeology department at Northwestern University. And I just slide it over. If you want to research, those are the people you need to talk to. As for me, I unfortunately...
No one knows you are going to be here. There is a perfectly good couch upstairs. I insist.
I cannot put any of you at risk.
I'm sorry, Liebchen. We are well beyond that now, don't you think?
Dr. Taka.
The giant snake, remember? That was... Oh, boy. Okay.
Right. Listen, earlier this evening...
Dr. Talkenbuck, there are more monsters out there that do not have 5 rows of teeth and 4 dozen eyeballs and other things.
None of them know where my couch is at.
Listen, whoever you're running from
Only some of those
can't be
patients do.
as bad as some of the stuff we faced. Heck, I got caught in some Chicago lightning earlier today, and I'm doing just fine. I'm not too worried about...
Mr. Doyle, I would face 100... I would face 100 of those horrors that we found in the stockyards over what found me today.
Dr. Lieber.
You have a number of options. Dr. Todbach has a couch. I'm sure Doyle has a couch. And you know he can protect people. Miss O'Shea has a place to live. I have a home not far from here.
You guys, all of you barely know me. Why would you do this?
Because we don't barely know each other. We've known each other for 2 years.
We've known each other for quite a while, Miss Stazi. Besides, even if we hadn't, last weekend says that we know each other well enough to protect you.
And we all have skeletons, I'm sure.
I have one quite literally in the other room. Would you like to see?
No, I'm kidding.
Look,
Thank you.
look, I don't know about anyone else, any of the other men here at the table, although I suspect they feel the same way about it. When a woman shows up in distress, you do what you're supposed to.
Yeah. So that's what you protect. You protect your friends and your loved ones.
Not only that,
Even if they are just recent friends.
We're talking about just a man. I'm just saying, after what we faced, I mean, we're kind of small potatoes.
Is he 19 feet tall? Is he green? I'm not this worried. Now, Liebchen, come, rest.
All right, I'm going to call the evening there, provided Stazi's going to stay.
Yeah. The doctor's not giving her a choice, honestly.
Oh, okay.
He's doing the German, hen-pecking mother thing. Like, yeah, that's
does this
nice.
rag smell like chloroform?
Yeah. Does this smell like knockout gas to you?
At this point, she's inebriated and scared enough that
really
yes,
deeply.
Oh wait, that was the Phosgene. Wait, hold on.
she will acquiesce.
Okay, so
And allow that, and on the condition, as she looks at Mr. Doyle, please send someone
Yes.
to make sure she's supposed to arrive soon.
Okay. I would do so.
all right, we'll call this evening's festivities there, and then we will catch back up with you next week. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you soon.